What's up, everybody? Yes, indeed, OG is back, man. You guys already know what time it is with this cat right here. I don't talk about it, I stay about it. Well, anyways, people, first and foremost, this is a fitness channel. I always start off elaborating a little bit about something about nutrition or fitness or overall well-being. You know what I mean? And I am gonna address something that was brought to my attention, and they want to ask, what do I think about this individual? Does he have bad paperwork? Former lifer, you know, who knows? At the end of the day, only that individual knows. But I'll give what I believe. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give my opinion on what I believe, because CDC administration, they're ruthless. You know, they play chess. They don't play checkers. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's just like anything in life, man. How bad do you really want it? Feel me? So anyways, you guys may take that in the wrong way, but it is what it is. Before I do move on, I got to give a shout out to all my subscribers, my followers, and especially my channel members, man, my future moderators, the ones that are going to be controlling the yarda. And like I've said in the past, man, on my yard, the yarda, stuff won't be tolerated, okay? So just come with respect. If you're gonna wiggle right, you know, because my moderators will remove you. There's no DPs, no chequeadas. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, people, with that being said, man, if you want to get started on your fitness journey and becoming that best version of yourself, shoot me that DM. Go to my Instagram, High Power Fitness, high_power_fitness_. Check out my story right there, man. I went from fat to fit to rip. I have over 2 years of content right there. I have transformations, testimonials, you know, a bunch of material there, man, that you could go and check out. That way you feel more secure when you reach out to me when you want to sign up. You know what I mean? You'll see where your money goes to, you know. And I'll bullshit aside. I believe I have the best prices out there, and I'm willing to work with people, especially people that come in on a budget. I don't want to interfere with their budget. I let them set their own payment plans. I don't put a payment plan on them. You know what I mean? All I require is an initial down payment, and we take it from there. But anyways, people, yes, just keep in mind, this OG does ramble on. I'm being attacked by whatever little gnats or something that's flying out right now. But anyways, people, yeah, just keep in mind, this OG rambles on a lot. I'll be bouncing around here and there. But before I do go on, hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell on all. Let's get this channel to grow, man. Share it. Like I said, 10,000 subscribers, I will start doing lives. And with my lives, the YouTube yarda will become active. Now, I need to address a couple things about nutrition. A lot of people have been asking me, like, how could they deal with snacking? How do I deal with snacking? Well, first and foremost, you know what I mean? I've been doing this for a minute now, so I'm pretty well disciplined, and I have that willpower, you know, and I don't set myself up for failure. I'm gonna give you a quick example. You know what I mean? You're not gonna get someone that just came out of a 12-step program and put them in a crack house. You know what I mean? Especially if that guy, that was his vice or his addiction. Why would you set him up for failure? You know what I mean? You can't. You gotta be set up with like-minded people, same thoughts, same goals, same ambition, and push together and support one another. That really does help out a lot. And that's why, like I said, it's important to, you know, sign up with the team. You know what I mean? Because on my team, we hold each other accountable. You know what I mean? We support one another. We don't try to compete against one another. We just show support, and we teach each other. We educate one another, because one may have more knowledge than the next person. Some may be able to break down a system better than I do. You may be able to understand it coming from one of my team members better than what I could put it out there for you to understand. You know, they break it down to a simpler term. Well, anyways, people, to deal with like snacking and stuff like that, man, basically that's going to be self-discipline, man. So what you need to start doing is stop buying junk, shit that you're going to have accessible at your convenience at night, especially when you're in an idle. And what I mean by an idle, when you're sitting around there doing nothing and, watching Netflix or whatever it is that you do on your idle time, your downtime, a lot of people, they start to graze. And that's what I call snacking. And that's the worst thing you can do for you, people. Regardless, even if it's protein, you know what I mean, or healthy snacks, you know what I mean, because too much of it is going to start creating insulin spikes. And if you're that person that's want to go through that ketosis, and like I said, ketosis is it's a form of it's the way your body works to utilize the fat in your body as energy. So if you keep on creating insulin spikes and stuff like that, it's just going to create hunger in between meals, this and that, and a lot of other things. Like I said, it's gonna prevent you from burning the stubborn fat on your body. So that's why it's important. Like when you do ketosis with intermittent fasting, you really got to understand the ins and outs. I've spoke about that stuff on the past. But anyways, people, one last thing I want to address too. Someone asked me, so how do I deal with eating when I go out to eat with the family? I'm going to keep it real 100% with you. Back in the day, I used to carry a food scale with me. I didn't care what anyone thought, how they looked at me sideways, because at the end of the day, the people that were staring and wondering what I was doing, I took a look at myself and I said, wow, this is why I look the way I look and they look the way they look, because they don't give a shit what they put in their body. As far as myself, I cared what was going in my body. Why? Because I was on a mission. I was on that mission to become that best person that I can be and become the fittest dad that my kids would see. And the proof is in the pudding, people. You know what I mean? I put in the work day in, day out, and like I've said in the past, and I'm going to tell you guys today, it's not how extreme, it's just about consistency and dialing in your nutrition. So back to eating out with the family. A rule of thumb, if you're one of them persons that care what the next man thinks of you and you're embarrassed to pull out a scale, look, when you go order your food, only eat half of the carbohydrates that's going to be on your plate, and that's going to be rice, potatoes, and stuff like that. Only eat half of that. So this is going to keep you within a ballpark figure, okay? The main dish, your protein, the meats, make sure they don't put any sauce on there. Just get it plain Jane. And you could add, your salt. You could actually ask some places if they have any Himalayan salt. Believe it or not, a lot of them people, they carry that type of salt. It's pretty popular nowadays. You know what I mean? I was just recently at Chili's, and just out of curiosity, I asked the server if he had any Himalayan salt, and he sure did. He brought me a pepper shaker and a Himalayan salt shaker, the ones that you grind. So that works, I mean, a closed mouth won't get fed. So anyways, with your food, you cut down on your carbohydrates. Your carbohydrates is going to be the side dish. It's going to be the biggest portion on your plate, guaranteed. Only eat half of that. And make sure it doesn't come with sauces and stuff. Okay, you got to tell the server that you do not want extra sauce. You know what I'm saying? And if anything, if you're going to have a salad, I would highly recommend just using vinegar oil or vinaigrette. That's perfect for you right there. You could try low-fat dressings. I don't know. I've never really used them. I just stick with vinaigrette or just regular vinegar oil, and I sprinkle salt and pepper on there. You know what I mean? For flavoring. I love pepper. But anyways, people, yeah, so that's what you do in that case. Guaranteed they're not going to give you the protein that's required. So if you're trying to make gains, you know what I mean? You could have them double up on the size of your main dish. If you're ordering chicken, fish, or something like that, have them double it up. If not, just roll with that. You know what I'm saying? And that will keep you in safe standings right there. Right there within that main meal, you're going to get your fat, your protein, and your carbs. That will keep you within ballpark figure. So, anyways, now with that being said, hit your like and subscribe button. Share this channel. And if you want to get started in your fitness journey, once again, reach out to me. Shoot me a DM, High Power Fitness, or email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. There ain't nothing to it but to do it, baby. You can't talk about it, you just got to be about it. Well, anyways, let's get to this individual that has been in question whether he's in good standings or not. I'm not going to say his name out there because I have a lot of respect for this individual, and he's been like the hot commodity. He's a hot commodity, period, out here on social media. Yes, he was a former lifer, and I've said in my past videos too. My nephew just got out from doing 45 years of life. I never questioned my nephew what the process was. I could imagine. You know what I mean? I'm speculating here, okay, because I'm not a lifer, but I know the way CDC works. The administration, they play chess, okay? Depending on how bad you want your freedom, they're going to put you up and set you up for failure. Just like what's going on nowadays with behind them walls. Yes, there's an end of hostility, okay, but all these, people getting booked and getting taken out and getting their wind taken, the only reason why it's noticeable now is because people are putting it out there on the media. That's the way the administration promotes their play moves. You know what I mean? They want to present to the people that it was wrong to let them guys come out from behind them dungeons. So that's why it's it's a touchy subject. But anyways, back to this individual, the one that I'm speaking on here. I'm sure that this individual had to have been put on I don't know what kind of yard, so I can't label it, because to me they were all considered PC yards, but now they're 50-50 yards, so I don't understand how those work. From my understanding, they're yards that are integrated. They have bad people there, they have gangsters there, they have so-called activos there. Somebody that's really activo, is going to put in the work, They're going to take advantage of that situation, no matter how you look at what type of PC that person is, The PC, coming from my background, is no good. But anyways, yeah, so I'm more than sure that this individual was put in a spot, Like I said, I'm just speculating, but I'm more than sure I could reassure that he didn't roll over on anybody. He wasn't singing. Because a lot of people try to say that he had to debrief and this and that. Well, first of all, you got to be part of something before you could do something like that. You know what I mean? You can't, you got to be like, which is safe to say right here, them two individuals, the mob spot. You had to have been in that type of position to do what people are claiming that this individual did. You got to keep in mind, this individual was a nobody. He represented individuals of authority, and he was blessed to represent them, because it is a blessing. And the only people that are going to understand that as being a blessing are the people that's done time behind them walls. You know what I mean? Anybody that's put in, how should I say, became a foot soldier for certain individuals of certain statuses, it was looked at as being a blessing. Why? Because you were basically trusted. You know what I mean? And whatever you did reflected on that individual. So you had to be on your best, be on your P's and Q's. But anyways, people, yes, I went rambling on. That's what this OG does. But yeah, so I could see CDC, and I'm not just going to say this one individual, for every individual that's trying to get out from doing their life sentences, they're going to test them to see how bad they really want their freedom. They're going to stick them in an SNY yard. It may not be necessarily mean that they're putting them with fucking them people with them really bad jackets, but being in that position, I really doubt if they're going to go look to see what type of jacket that crowd over there in that other corner has on them. Why? Because they accepted that movement to be placed with them on that yard, an integrated yard, so they could get their freedom. Why would they go and fuck that off for anything? You know what I mean? For those of you that are out there saying, oh, fuck that, I wouldn't have went there, this and that. Have you been down for 24 years, 25 years? Those are the only people that could really speak on that. And the ones that have been down 24 years, and if they're out here doing that, they're not on social media. Trust me, they are not on social media saying that shit. They're actually doing it. They're living it. Well, anyways, people, I don't want to go on too much further on this because people right away are going to start assuming which person, and more than likely it will. But this pertains to every lifer that's getting out and going free now. I'm more than sure that administration set them up where they would have to go through something that would be considered protocol to see how bad they really want to be free. You know. Now, with that being said, people, it's time to bring this video to an end. Got a long day ahead of me today. It's a beautiful day, man. It's nice and sunny out here. Sun's out, guns out, baby. But anyways, people, yeah, if you want to get started in your fitness journey, shoot me that DM on my Instagram, highpowerfitness, high_power_fitness_, or email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. There ain't nothing to it but to do it, baby. So don't talk about it. Just be about it.